Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin bubble news channel. So it's like, oh, come on, what should I do? For the love of God, that's not how DC works. So we'll see what happens. A lot of people will be pressing. Another bill about stablecoins is on the way. There is another bill about how markets work. Pay close attention, right? Crypto needs both Democrats and Republicans to understand it and move it forward. The tech can't belong to just one party. The crypto market will be shit because these elections will keep going back and forth for a long time. At its core, crypto should be a system that works for both Democrats and Republicans, right? Crypto has some of each. It has the libertarian side of Bitcoin and the progressive side of getting rid of the middleman, banks, music producers, and other people who take your money. That's why I don't understand why Elizabeth Warren decided she hated it, but let's move on from that. Michael Novogratz talks about the future of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in this movie. He also gives a long-term view of digital assets. Let us start the movie right away. And Bitcoin in particular, right? Let's say for a moment that Bitcoin is digital gold. Its growth depends on people believing what they are told about it. In this way, Bitcoin is almost always sold, not bought. Yes, you do get orange pills. So even though I trade for a living, I'm really a salesman at heart. As a family, my mom worked in sales and so did my brothers and sisters. It made sense to me to sell it, so it was easy for me to do. I also said this on TV not long ago. I told Jamie that he was calling it a pet rock in Elizabeth Warren. And I told you guys that the pride in your speech is shocking, right? Some of the smartest businessmen in the world, like Pete Brigger and Mickey Milker, Paul Jones, Stephen Jones, Abby Johnson, Paul Jones, and Stan Druckenmiller, all see value. But you're smarter than them. Yes, Elizabeth, you are smarter than all the world's best managers. I told them, you don't have to like it, but don't be so cocky as to say it hadn't any value because that group of people did. I saw value in it right away because I thought it would become popular. Satoshi thought it would be a good idea because he saw populism coming. Britain leaving the EU was great for crypto right away. It costs too much for populist governments to run. What I thought was the reason for their name, populism. There is also a wave of populism going around the world. We lost our North Star before we turned 15. The name for it was globalization. Globalization was something that everyone believed in whether they were right or wrong. There was no more globalization after Brexit. It's now time to talk about resources and a war with China. That wasn't there at all. So we've set up the political and economic conditions for Bitcoin to do well. That's why I talked about gold and silver as ways for hard investments to do well. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is a digital coin that hundreds of millions of people love right now. People in DC finally woke up a bit last week, which is what we're seeing now. Because I've been down there so much, I'm becoming a radical moderate. I used to be a Democrat, but now I'm more of a Republican. It seemed like Democrats don't like crypto because of Elizabeth Warren and how much power she has over how money is spent in DC and under Biden. I said it out loud and in public, guys. There are 65 million dog owners in the United States. There are 85 million people who own crypto. The Democratic Party might become known as the party that doesn't like dogs right now. We don't like dogs. I told them, you can't just hate crypto, and the same day Biden said he would cancel this strange accounting rule. Trump said, I'm your crypto president, and in the crypto world, it's almost become a test of how pure something is. Democrats don't like crypto, but Republicans do. You're not a crypto person if you don't vote for Trump. So last week, the Democrats broke the line for the first time, and 10 senators and I forget how many congressmen, 20 congressmen crossed the line. 20% of lawmakers. So will President Biden turn this down? It's likely that President Biden will still kill this bill. We'll see. I wish he wouldn't. I believe it would be very stupid for him to do that. But, politicians say, well, if I don't veto it, I'll make those congressmen and senators look stupid that we told them to vote no. Those are my bases. So it's like, oh, come on, what should I do? For the love of God, that's not how DC works. So we'll see what happens. A lot of people will be pressing. Another bill about stablecoins is on the way. There is another bill about how markets work. Pay close attention. Crypto needs both Democrats and Republicans to understand it and move it forward. Yes, it can't be a one-party system. The crypto market will be shit because these elections will keep going back and forth for a long time. And crypto at its core, any technology should be mostly good for both parties. Yes, crypto has some of each. It has the libertarian side of Bitcoin and the progressive side of getting rid of the middleman, banks, music producers, and other people who take your money. That's why I don't understand why Elizabeth Warren decided she hated it, but let's move on from that. BTC has not been able to test its March high, making people think that the bull run is over. Crypto found that to be false and saw Bitcoin getting ready for the second step. Regular people who spend money take part in bull markets like the ones in 2017 and 2021. When a lot of small buyers got into the market, institutional capital pushed Bitcoin up to $73,700 in March. For months, BTC's price has been going down and staying down as the billions of dollars that pushed it up have dried up. Whale and actual cap metric data points to a shift. This capitalization model looks at donations from small whales and regular people. Crypto says that the big fish have been making money off of the slowdown. The rise in the group of 10 to 100 BTC coins balances out. Earlier cycles show that more people have joined. BTC has dropped 20% to 30%. This might cause another rise. CryptoDan, an on-chain analyst and author of CryptoQuint, agreed. He said that Bitcoin could rise quickly because the second half of the bull market just started and small whales and regular investors started to take big gains in 2024. BTC could still go down before it goes up again. At press time, Crypto looked at Bitcoin's volatility and found that 2E volatility had reached 0.002. The amount of up and down movement of a coin is shown by its volatility. A small spread is likely if the readings are low. As instability rises, Bitcoin prices may change based on how much people want to buy or sell. If buying pressure goes up, Bitcoin's price could hit $80,000 in Q3, but selling pressure could stop this. In 2021, there was fear because of a lot of bad behavior, right? Then bad behavior and the Fed raising rates. We would have gone down even if Sam Bankman-Fried, Do Kwon, and all the other BlockFi, Celsius, and other problems hadn't happened. It was only because the Fed raised rates. Starting from a bad place, we got approval for the ETF, and it can't be said enough how important it was that Larry Fink, the biggest money manager in history, he had been negative 5 or 6 years before, changed his mind and said, I see what other people see. And I think this is an asset that should be in a lot of portfolios even though there are 11 ETFs. Larry really made it easy for all of you to add Bitcoin big investors to your portfolio. And that process has begun. The adoption process takes a long time. And at the same time, the inflation rate was cut in half, which is another thing. Let's say you had an asset and told everyone, hey, guess what, the rate of inflation was just cut in half. What about the value of your other asset? If it's dollars, euros, or yen, the inflation rate is pretty high and rising, right? You have a product that is deflationary in an inflationary world. We had a good run, and prices are always set on the edge. There aren't many people who sell Bitcoin. So many people who own it and bought it believe in it so strongly that it's almost holy.